Hi, this is Eddie Philpott and doing my reflection on assignment 2. I was in the learning strategies group, and my specific focus was on engaging students through video lessons. I did this because I teach an online, a blended learning class at the high school level, and I was looking for ways to make this better. So some of the things that I learned that I'm doing pretty well. There's a lot of things that I'm doing that are, a good use of, the learning platforms that I have and the learning management systems. I'm having all my videos very concise and well organized. They're very targeted and specific, and all of that is going to be very helpful for my students. One of the things that I also learned, though, is that I could definitely do better. I've learned that there are different things that I could do to keep my students more engaged as they're going through their instructional videos. It's almost similar to, there are times where my instructional videos are very much like a direct instruction, except instead of a classroom, it's in front of a computer screen. Now, on a personal level, I think that is better already for some students. They're going to be able to, go at whatever speed they need to. They can pause, stop, rewind, rewatch, and all of that is stuff that, I talk to my students about. And that leads me really to the next thing that I learned is that being a blended teacher is more about being a learning coach. Not even more, but just as much as it is of being an Algebra 2 teacher. I need to spend a lot of time with my students on how to learn in a blended environment, because it's essentially like a flipped classroom. Almost all of our instruction comes from online videos, and I need to always be working with my students to find, effective ways for them to learn, because it's not a one-size-fits-all. You'll have some students in the course that are able to slack off in the beginning of the week and watch all of the videos for an entire week, in like a 2-hour time period the night before a quiz, and they'll come in and they'll be fine because they can handle that. The issue is identifying the students that cannot handle that and try it. You have to have a conversation with them and say, what works for your friends and what they do might not be working for you. And it's more of getting the students to realize, how they are as learners and what they're going to need to do in order to be successful that I need to occupy a lot of my time with. 2 big takeaways I had from this project actually came from some of my classmates' assignments. They were both really good in teaching me about some other things. And the first one is inductive learning, and I've got to thank Sam V for that. I learned that I could probably even apply that in my setting as a high school math teacher, and one of the topics I thought I could apply that in is graphing transformations of different functions. You can have your students experiment with that, and as they're doing that, that's kind of like their research or their data collection, if you will, and then they can sit back and try and analyze all of the information that they have and try and come up with the patterns on their own. A lot of times you'll find students are able to do that. Another thing that I took away from this was augmented reality. And so a big thanks to Karen S. for showing me that in her project. It was very nice. I thought, something that I know literally nothing about right now. I'm at like level 0 in terms of augmented reality, other than, looking at Karen's project and doing a couple of quick Google searches. But my initial thought is that I might be able to utilize that in my geometry classroom. I think that the ability to have some 3-dimensional objects easily accessible for children to see in an augmented reality setting would be far more helpful than students trying to visualize 3-dimensional objects on a piece of paper. That's something that has always been a struggle, and I feel like this could be a huge way to bridge that gap. Thanks, everybody.